Blessings, everyone. It's your girl Mocaso, and I'm here for another Woman in the Metaverse. Excuse me, when we come together and have iron sharpening conversations where we talk about current events, womanhood, and everything in between. And we call this iron sharpening conversations because we understand when we come together, iron sharpens iron. So this is one of my favorite times of the week when we get to come together and open this space and have these kind of conversations. And I will even say, because you guys know we're early in this space, so to all of our listeners, whether you're listening on social media right now, social media after, or on any of our podcast platforms after, you guys know I always say that support is appreciated because even you are early. Even your interest in these topics, it shows that we are early, right? Because a lot of people may see that this is going on, but it may not be a big interest just yet. And I always tell people, like, my fellow builders in this space who get a little discouraged when it's just them in the space or nobody's coming, and it's like, I tell them it's like a Netflix show where it's like, when you find your new favorite Netflix show, are you more excited when you see that there's 6 seasons that you've never seen before, so now you get to binge watch all of those right now? Or are you more excited when you've watched the first one, you love it, and now you gotta wait till next week, right? And so I think, again, by us having this balance of creating right now and putting in that work and putting in that effort right now, again, when the time comes, when everybody has their Oculus and are coming into these spaces, we are going to be here, and there are going to be more women that are looking for spaces like this, that want to meet with other women in this space and just want to, have these safe spaces. And that's why you guys see, that's why I have, made our spaces to look like so, just safe spaces to do that. And I'm very excited because at the end of this episode, I'm actually going to take you guys to the new spot that I created for Women in the Metaverse. This was one of our first spots, which is a template on Spatial. So yes, it is very easy to come into spatial.io and get this exact template. You're going to be up here, you get a nice view and a lot of really cool seats where you can, host any kind of discussions that people can come into. And it was really cool because back in my day, you had to bring in your own objects here. As you see, we added some flowers and the wine and the hot tub and different things like that. But now they've even integrated with Sketchfab, where it's really easy to just hit this plus sign and then literally hit Sketchfab, and then you can, I can search wine, and then boom, here we go. I can bring in this wine bottle, and now we've got more wine. You see, so easy to literally build your space here. So again, this is why I love Spatial, though. It's so easy to not only just join, because all of you listening can click the link and join, but also to build for you, that you have your own ideas to come and actually build your ideas as well. You guys see how I just added that wine bottle in here. Now it's a centerpiece, and now look at that. And that's why you shouldn't be afraid of change, right? I'm saying all of that to just recap everything that we've actually talked about this month when it comes to change and how everything is changing, guys. We've talked about so much when it comes to change. We talked about how our economy was changing. We talked about how our education system was changing. We talked about how society was changing. And today's question, let me go ahead and write it on a sticky note for us here. How are we changing? That's my question that I have for everyone. How are we changing? And that's why, again, I even wanted to start this out by talking about our space, and really wanted to make it commemorable because I have been hinting at this space that I've been working on with you guys. Not with you guys, but, pre-hinting that I have been working on this space for you guys. And today just felt like a great day to actually present it, to again show that change, show that evolution. I've only been on this app for about 2 months, and you guys see my avatar. I've definitely got my style there. We've learned so much. You see how we have these sticky notes around the space where we're trying some really cool things where we have a conversation, and we had a conversation in different parts of the space each week, so now we can leave our sticky notes up. So say, for example, the first week of this month when we were talking about change, we talked about how society is changing. Or actually the first week, we talked about what change even means to us and gave ourselves some pointers for while we're going through those change. And look at those pointers that we have, those sticky notes. Embrace change. You have the tools. Trust the process. Psalms 139 verse 14. It's okay to pivot. All of those things that we tell ourselves while we're changing, because we also discussed how change is inevitable. And we can see that when we talked about our economy, and that brought up education and how that is changing. And then when we're talking about education, and then that's talking about, jobs, because now there's more space for educators. And so now we're talking about society, and now we're talking about how that's changing with social credit score. And we know all of these changes are connected, and they're all connected because they're all connected with us as well, which is why it's so important for us to be the ones changing and evolving with it. One of my favorite new podcasts that I've been working on is called Evolutionaries, because revolution is something that continues to repeat itself, whereas evolution is, again, something that's inevitable. I think it's so cool when you think about evolution and you think about something like teeth, and how they get less sharp, as we eat more cooked meat, and just the different ways that our body adapts naturally, right? And when you use things as nature as an example, it then also helps you be able to prepare. Because why does all of this stuff matter? Why am I going on this whole tangent today that's almost philosophical at this point, to bring it all together? And it's, again, because that's how deep we have to go. That's why we call this iron sharpening conversations. Because like we just said, we have those tools. We just have to sharpen them. We just have to read them. We watched videos throughout this month as well, talking about what stakeholder capitalism is, talking about the social credit score, so that we understand how society is truly changing. So if you've missed those, I encourage you to go back and re-listen to them. And again, because we talked about even how jobs were changing, how, again, education was changing, and what kind of jobs you, even as somebody watching this, can take what you know about anything and come in and create content around that and be an educator about that. Me and my husband always make this joke that one of the most watched videos on YouTube that you can literally remake is how to flush a toilet without a plunger, because people are always going to need to know how to do that. And I say that to say that no matter how big or small you think what you know is, there is somebody who needs that information. And that's why it's so important that we change along with society, so that we are putting ourselves in a position to be a part of that future, right? There's such an opportunity here where we can be those ones that are educating and putting those in the space to educate. So it's just a very exciting opportunity, again, to even be able to do that. And welcome there, Nick. Happy to have you here in Women in the Metaverse. We are currently live on social media, streaming on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. So hey, everyone. And also we share this on our podcast, which is on Apple, Spotify, Google, and I always forget the last one. I'm sorry, guys. But yes, moral of the story, we put it on our podcast afterwards. So feel free to explore and pop around. I did just want to put out that little disclaimer. And today we are wrapping up our monthly topic about change. We talked about like how society is changing, education and economics, and just a whole lot of different things. So today we're keeping it a little light by just talking about how we are changing as people, and so I guess I would love to ask you that question and see what your response would be on just any kind of take on how we are changing, how you are changing, how we as people are changing. Anything you'd like to add? Oh shoot. Oh, hi there, Nick. Sorry, I just realized I hadn't even unmuted myself. I was over here just talking away. Welcome to the space, Women in the Metaverse. We are live streaming right now on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Hey again, everyone. I know I just said this all, but gotta welcome Nick and let him know we are live. And we also put this on our podcast after for Spotify, Amazon, Apple, and Google Podcasts. So everything is recorded, just a FYI. And this is our space, Women in the Metaverse. I was kind of just talking to our followers. They've been watching different women come in the space as we've talked about how society is changing, economics, education, and just literally everything in between. So today we're kind of bringing it all together and just talking about how we are changing, right? And kind of what that even means. So I would love to hear your idea on how we are changing or how you are changing if you'd like to share. And if not, no pressure. I will keep my ramble going here.
Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. Sounds really great.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. I will also be dropping in a new space. What I'll do, since you're here, if you don't want to hang out to the end, this is going to be the new Women in the Metaverse space. So this is obviously a template, the one from Spatial, but this one here is one that I built that we're going to be moving to commemorate change. So feel free to hit this portal and then check out this new space. This is one of my favorites, and you'll see why they call me the Mocasso of NFTs.
Okay, and go there.
Okay, enjoy. Thanks for coming. And as you guys see, that's how it goes down in the metaverse, you know? Not everybody is meant for everything, you know? You open that door and allow people to walk through. You see how easy it was to open up the conversation. If you want to add, great. If not, at least now he knows that there are women in the metaverse every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So if he knows other women, guess what? He's going to tell them about this space. And I also have been able to show him this new space to again commemorate change and get people excited to see the growth that we all have, because we are all changing. And I'm happy to be able to get that kind of stuff here on footage. And that's exactly why I love recording these sessions live, so that you guys can see the people coming in here and see how last week we had Isabel who came in, and she was from Brazil. And so here I am sitting in Las Vegas. Here she is sitting in Brazil. But here we are in the metaverse talking about how society is changing. How powerful is that, guys? How powerful is it? Yes, I get pretty excited, but seriously, because it's something to be excited about. Again, change is inevitable. It's not something we can control. So that's why we have these iron sharpening conversations where we see what is changing and we prepare for it, right? We prepare for it because there's the five P's of power, which is poor preparation. Preparation prevents poor performance. And so again, you know, or failure to plan. Failure to plan is planning to fail. That's one of my favorites right there, you know. And we can say so many different quotes about how being lackadaisical and not planning and not preparing is what's going to hurt you, because change is coming and you don't want to be changing when you're in the midst of the action, right? You want to actually be prepared for that. So that's why I encourage you, if you're listening to this, you know, start putting in that action. With that being said, if you guys remember seeing, if you're some of our OG listeners, you know, we used to have one of the flyers in here for actually a book club that I also host. You guys know I'm a woman of many hats. Like, that's why I got my hat on right now, because I have so many hats. So aside from Women in the Metaverse, aside from a lot of the other things that you guys see me doing, I also have a book club here in the Metaverse also just for women, because I love creating a great space just for women. Although I didn't kick out the man. I didn't say he couldn't be there. It's just that my target is to create a space that is welcoming to women. That's why you see my pedicure chairs or things just, again, opening and warming and welcoming to women so that they feel comfortable and welcome to this space. But more to the story, I have this book club as well. And with that, we read mind elevating books. And the book last month that we read in order to also talk about change was How Successful People Grow by John C. Maxwell. And so for this book, I'm actually starting a new challenge called the Raw Growth 365 Challenge. And I am going to drop the logistics tomorrow when we start day one. But I'm going to track this, man. I want you guys to see the raw growth of me posting every single day, being consistent, going after these dreams, and what it looks like when you do that consistently every single day. And I'm going to be tracking this so that, like I said, those that believe in this dream, when you come to this episode and you're like, man, I see this is where Mo started, I want to start there and follow that path. These will be the blueprints that will help you along the way. These will be those other women coming into the space, giving those gems and those pointers that are going to help us, because you can listen to them even back from when we were on Twitter space. We've got some really good ones from moms who had kids in NFT projects and all different kind of things, guys. I'm telling you, we've changed and grown so much from our Twitter days to here now in the metaverse, and to now even this new spot that I'm about to reveal to you all right now without further ado, because I know I've been talking it up, but I think it's been some good stuff. And like I said, a great way to just recap about change. And really, I hope you guys have understood the importance of how change is inevitable, and the key to change is being prepared for it and changing along with it, right? And so let's go ahead and travel into our new space. Now this is in Tulum. Okay, and right now it's called WIM, which is my new acronym that I'm really trying to get to catch on for women in the metaverse, or also women in meta, just like women in tech or women in whatever, women in meta. It's just I haven't like really kind of banged the women in meta too much, because I feel like that's more of like a general hashtag, and we are women in the metaverse, where we are actually like here in the metaverse right now. And I think, I'm just a very straightforward person. I like things to be very direct. So you guys see, we got a little porch. Hey, look at me. You can sit on a chair. We can sit here and talk to our girlfriends. Sorry, guys. Sometimes it's still a little annoying. But yes, we can sit on the porch, on our swing, and talk. Check out that skybox. Like, OMG. You guys see, this is the Tulum. So I've been thinking about calling this the WIM Retreat, or the WIM Treehouse, kind of torn in between the two. And so now this is also our spot inside, where we've got our women in the metaverse every Monday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, and you can sit in all of these seats. Yes, so this will be a kind of a space. I want to also put like a stereo here, and basically the concept that I've created for this space was for one where people can come and listen to the replay. Maybe you missed Women in the Metaverse and you are one of our podcast listeners, and it's Amazon and Google. Why do I always forget that? Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Google. Sorry, whomever I forget in that lineup there. But yes, and so you can come and actually sit here in our metaverse space, in this amazing space, and listen to the podcast. And you can do that with other people that listen to the podcast. Like, imagine how great that is, that you can listen to it with others that listen to the podcast as well, because that's how we can now keep the conversation going. Maybe say we're really international and we have some folks that listen to podcasts 7 o'clock in the morning, or before work or something, and you can actually have your avatar in here listening to it and talking with others. How cool would that be? And then we have our upstairs area where we've got some more seating. And then my favorite, guys, look at these. Look at our new pedicure chairs. Yes, an upgrade from our last space. And check this out. You can be given the pedicure or getting the pedicure, y'all. Yes, I know. It's change. It's growth. It's all of that, y'all. I have been in here working, and like I told you guys, I've only been in here for 2 months. So you can see from how far I have changed when we talk today about how we have changed. You can see how I went from using that template and still, jazzing it up to now creating my own space and what that looks like. And this space here will be for where women can add portals to their spaces. So if you're another woman and you have a space here in Spatial, please let me know. Please comment a link to your space below in the comments and we'll add it here to the space. I'm going to bring some of the portals from our last Women in the Metaverse space here as well. I thought it was really amazing. The space was open and one woman had left a flower and a portal to her flower gallery in there. And I thought that was just the coolest thing ever. So, and you guys know we have our back wall where we keep all the portals, and that's where she added it. So I definitely want to keep our little portal hub going, and I think our little apple will be the perfect place to do that. And then we've got outside here. So as you guys see, we got a nice little bonfire. But look, y'all, when we talk about upgrade, we gotta have the jacuzzi. And y'all know I love standing in the hot tub and watching a video. But look, y'all, look at this. Look at this, y'all. We're gonna be sitting over here. Over here, we are sitting in the hot tub. Okay? This is what it's all about, guys. Changing. Women in the Metaverse, creating amazing spaces to do that, talking about it, preparing for it, and sharpening each other's iron and getting better. I know you guys have heard me being a host and just growing every single episode, every single week. I was just, again, I think I just used the same example earlier with you guys. But again, just telling people, preparing for those that are looking for this content and being that adhesive and educator in this space. And that's what change is all about. And understanding that, some people aren't ready to change. Some people are scared of change. And also preparing for those as well. One thing we always tell people is, Black Friday's around the corner, Christmas is around the corner. More and more people are about to get Oculuses. And so although this change right now, you may see me here in the Metaverse, and it seems like, this change might be far-fetched, but I can assure you guys, it's not. And if it was, I would not be in here as often as you see me in here every single Monday having Women in the Metaverse. Every single Wednesday having Wellness Wednesday. Every single Thursday having Game Night. Every single Friday having the let out to give you guys a recap of what's going on in the Metaverse and in the Raw Network that week. And then back again on Sunday to give you guys a preview at the pregame of everything that's about to happen. But because we understand the vision and how the world is changing, I'm willing to change my schedule right now in the day to be able to accommodate that. I understand even now while doing that, your team changes. How you achieve your goals change. Everything changes. And so in this Raw Growth Challenge that we're doing, that I want to start with you all, and I welcome anybody to actually be a part of, it's just creating systems and mastering those systems so that although when things are changing, you have that anchor that you've mastered and you've got on rinse and repeat that is going to help you continue to elevate. Because again, that's where you get the impact in that midst of change. And you're excelling, you're either changing for better or you're changing for worse. And same with everyone around you. So if you see everyone around you is changing for the worse, but now you're changing for the better, now we understand how gaps are widening, whether you're talking about wealth gaps or societal gaps or any kind of gaps. But again, because we understand that you can change for the better or you can change for the worse, and everybody has a chance to make that decision, and it's on us to decide, and we decide in that moment, because our present is what's going to affect that future. Right? Because it's like, say for example, whenever I say for example, if I have to like clean my kitchen, right, and do my dishes, and I tell myself, oh, I'm going to do it later. If I take 5 minutes, maybe 15 minutes right there and put all those dishes in the dishwasher and carry on, 6 hours later, when I really just want to sit down, I'm appreciating myself that I took that moment back in the present and just got what I needed done. So now in the future, I have some more time to focus on what I need to focus on, right? And that's obviously a very minuscule idea, but you guys get the idea. And I say that to say because next month, our theme is gratitude. And although, we can talk, about what we're all grateful for, we can all get pretty deep with it as well and talk about the tools that we're grateful for and the concepts that we're grateful for and the people or businesses or just anything that we're grateful for. So I'm going to lay out a curriculum for our next month so that you guys know what we're going to be talking about every single week next month. And I hope to see you guys there, whether you're going to be listening on social media or in the podcast after, or if you're going to click the link and join. Those are the 3 ways that you guys can be a part. You can click the link and meet us here in the Metaverse. You can watch it live on social media, or you can watch the replay on the podcast. However you're supporting, it's greatly appreciated. And I know you guys know because I say it more than enough, but I'm going to continue to say it because I truly mean it from the bottom of my heart. And you guys know we are just getting started and we're rolling. The Raw Network is here, and we here. You guys see, we got new spaces, new topics, and new things to accomplish. So we aren't going anywhere, and that's why we encourage you, if you want to be building with us, come on, join the fun. There's plenty of fun to be had. Let's get that view. We'll wrap it up right here so that you guys can see this amazing view again. Brought you guys to Tulum because that's what it is, a getaway. And although, some people like to use the Metaverse for however they envision, because that's the beauty of the Metaverse, my vision of that is physical to digital. Being able to just have this kind of conversation instead of in a Zoom call or a phone call. Being able to make it look like I'm in a treehouse in Tulum having this conversation, or sitting there listening to a podcast while my screen looks like I'm sitting in Tulum or something of that nature, And so if you don't know, you guys will know, because I'm going to be dropping content so that those others do get it. Because it's definitely a concept, and I appreciate you guys for supporting that idea and growing along with me. So you guys know we'll be back again next Monday, live again at 4 p.m. Pacific time, here in the space for women to get together. I hope to see more of you women out there. I know you're out there. I know you're listening. It is appreciated, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. Peace.